Hello, everybody. My name is Edward S. Redcar, and I'm the host of Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat. And today I have the extreme pleasure of speaking with Kati Cher. And she's from Austria. She's a musician. She's a rock singer. Her description on her Instagram page is a charismatic rock soul with a sweet sense of humor, and also has two baby girl fur babies, of which I've already heard one already, so I might hear the other one through the interview. So if they happen to come on, you get more, like they say, bang for your buck, all of you out there. You get the three interviews, one with Kati and one with the two fur babies. So that being said, in your introduction, Kati Cher, welcome to the show, and how are you doing today?
Hi, Edward. So nice to meet you. Thanks for having me. It's a real pleasure, and I look forward to this interview.
Oh, yes, I've looked forward to this interview. Like I mentioned to you before we started the show here, your recordings on the Instagram story, video posts, and regular posts, and yeah, no,
Yes, you did a
we're
great job. I'll say
yes,
it.
yeah, we're gonna have a great time. We're gonna have fun. Audience is gonna have fun all the way around. So with anybody that comes onto my show, I always like to know how they got into doing what they do today. You know, what their thoughts were when they first had the idea of even what they wanted to do with their life. So I'll pose that same question to you now. How did you become interested in music, and in particular in rock music?
Yeah, it started very early. I always saw myself as a singer. Sounds weird, but I was very little when I saw myself singing in these colorful lights on stage. And yeah, my dad always listened to music cranked up, just not the genres that I preferred to listen to. Or what you would expect me to listen to.
Right.
Um, and I taught myself many instruments first before I started to take lessons.
Oh,
So
really? Wow. Yeah.
yeah, my dream instrument has always been drums, but
Okay. Okay.
of course, parents are not very welcoming.
You need another building far, far away from the house, all enclosed and insulated, right? If you're going to play the drums and practice
Yeah.
all day.
And I started then, my mom convinced me to start with piano, but I was bored very soon of it. So it was nothing that
Okay.
excited
Okay.
me too much. Then later on, I took lessons for electric guitar, and that actually got me into rock music. I thought I already listened to rock music, and then my teacher got me to into AC/DC and all these things that I love today.
Hmm. Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
and later
Now,
on, I also, yeah, that was it.
oh,
Piano, guitar, and drums. Actually, drums before guitar, and then I started to take singing lessons.
okay. Okay. You know, since you bring up the subject of drums, I don't know if it was on Instagram or if it was on Facebook, and I know it was one of those where I only seen like only one post of, like, out of all the posts that you've ever done, I mean that I've noticed, that it showed you playing the drums on one post. I forget if it was on Facebook or if it was on Instagram, and
Great
I hadn't
knowledge.
read anything about that yet because, I read your profile on your Instagram and everything, and I couldn't remember, if I'd read anything about drums, but yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I says, "Wow," she's a rock and roller and she plays the drums aside. I says, the story is complete now.
Secret session. I
Drums.
don't tell anybody.
Oh, oh, you don't want to tell anybody? Is that it or no?
No, I just keep it for myself. Never played in a band, and I thought about it last year, and then I was like, "Oh, sure not. I will bring all this stuff with me for sure."
Right. Right, right. You gotta bring all the cymbals. You gotta bring the hi-hats, the riders, and
I prefer
everything.
to sing them.
Right. And then you have to lug around the rug to put on it underneath everything so things don't slide around on the floor, right? So yeah, no, no, that's a good idea. Stick to the guitar and the singing. There's less equipment. You
Yeah,
just bring along the equipment that's in here, right? in your throat, right? Yeah. It's a lot easier. So yeah, so like with the drums, do you think that you'd ever want to pursue it a little bit more in the future, or that's like you said, something that you're just
No,
interested?
it's something that is for me, it
Yeah, yeah,
excites
yeah,
me. It's a
yeah,
good
yeah.
outlet for me for emotions. So I play every now and then.
Okay, 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 yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, so since you got interested in music and like I said, in particular rock music, I've seen that you have a big collaboration. You post it all the time, which is absolutely awesome. You have a big collaboration with Ken Tamplin of Vocal Academy, and
Yep.
the posts there are absolutely out of this world, and it's like they do wonders. I've seen, uh,
Thank you so
uh,
much.
yeah, you perform and like other artists, and it's like it's
Yes,
absolutely
very talented people in this
yeah,
camp.
yeah. So I know this because I've done a little research, but tell everybody else out there how you became affiliated with the Vocal Academy.
Actually, I didn't plan on anything of that. So, of course, when I started with singing, I looked around on the internet and I found some information. And there was also a video coming up from Ken, and I really had no idea of vocal technique. So I was just like, he's known for his so-called lizard tongue. And I was like, what is this guy doing? Like,
Yeah,
weird to me.
yeah.
So I just, it came up one time, and then I was like, okay, it's not nothing that I can identify myself with. So I moved on.
Mhm.
And later on, when I collected more experience already, it came up again. And then I was like, huh, interesting. It's right what this guy is saying. Like everything he's saying, I agree on. And
Mhm.
I saw, especially Gabriella singing on his channel. And I was like, wow, this girl's voice is really the shit. Her.
I
And
won't tell anybody you said that word. I won't tell anybody.
uh, so yeah, I reach out to people where I think that they do great things, and it's my thing. So I also reached out to him. In worst case, they don't reply, right? So
Right,
try
Yeah.
it. And he replied to me immediately. I was surprised, and we started a conversation, and we were pretty much on the same page very soon, and shared the same sense of humor, and yeah, that's made everything like that's how it started.
hmm
We
hmm
started talking, and I started to do his course, and then I was like, yeah, you should come over to the States. And thinking my students like, me? I mean, I'm the little girl from Austria. You want me to come overseas to the famous land to sing in
Yeah.
video? Like, whoa.
Right, right, right. Totally surreal, right? Totally
Yeah,
surreal.
so
Yeah,
many people talk a lot in this business, so I, I wait for actions rather than words.
yes, yeah. Yeah, actions, like they say, actions do speak louder than words, If you do an action, that says a lot. If you talk about it, well, that doesn't mean that you're not serious about it, but not as serious when you actually go ahead and do something, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, in keeping with the topic of the vocal academy, so are those sessions that we see you perform on, like your Instagram stories and whatnot? are those like full day sessions, like sort of say 3, 4, 5 days in a week, or are they kind of like spread out during the week?
It's really hardcore what
Uh-huh.
we're doing there. And I really have to mention we do this at 3,000 meters, which I think are 7,000 feet. So
Wow, that is high.
yeah, Flagstaff is high, and you don't understand what it does to your body until you experience on yourself. So
Oh, yeah, right.
we really have to get used to be at this altitude,
Yes.
and I'm
Um,
all out of breath. I just need to go from
yes.
one room to the other. I'm like, did I just climb a hill?
I think let's see, there's a term for it. You have to be up at a certain altitude, a certain amount of time. What do they call it? To acclimate to get used to the the
Yeah,
high
yeah.
level or the high I've experienced that myself, not musically, of course, but
Mhm.
you've probably heard of the Winter Olympics that were held in Lake Placid, New York.
I know that many people that are on the Olympics go to Flagstaff to train because
Yes, yes.
if
Well,
you get there,
anyway,
it's easier then.
yeah, right, right, right. Well, anyway, Lake Placid. I used to always like to go hiking, hiking in the woods and things. So, one time I went to Lake Placid where they have the Olympics, and I actually hiked up there, and there were hikes that were some of the highest, or like I'm not sure the metric equivalent, but it's like almost 5,000 feet, whatever that is, in meters. But it's like one of there's a lot of high peaks, and when I first got there, the village of Lake Placid is at like a high elevation anyway. And then when you hike, you go even higher up in the mountains. So the elevation of the village of Lake Placid is higher than I'm used to at home, because
Yeah.
at home my elevation is like really low. It's like 400 feet. It's like really low. But the
Mhm.
village, when you get there, it's already up high. So
Yeah.
I had to stay away from hiking for like 2 days, and until my body got used to that high elevation. So like you were saying, like
I
with
totally
you and your
understand.
singing, I totally get that. Yeah. So that must have been tough, right? I
Yeah,
mean, to get
first
used to
was
it.
I was like, what's going on here? Like, is this normal? I was like, oh, we're very high, so that's the reason why you're out of breath. So
Right.
it's and it's really hard how we start working out, training the voice every day. Like we
Uh,
do vocal workouts that strengthens your voice, that strengthens your diaphragmatic work and all these
yeah.
kind of things, fun things for singers. Yeah, and we work
Yeah.
on songs. We start working on it, and we go through different songs to see what fits the best and what we can do.
Okay. Okay.
In the middle of our time, we start recording.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like full days. I sing sometimes between 6 and 10 hours. It depends on our days.
Wow.
This time I just did very difficult songs. So
Yes, yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
just had 2 days off, believe it or not, in 3 weeks.
Wow. And I bet you're probably absolutely doing nothing, right? Just kind of chilling back and getting yourself like re-energized, right?
I just see my room and the studio. That's it. When
And
on
your fur, don't forget your fur babies. Don't leave them
the
out.
phone, on the phone, I see them.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I cannot bring them, unfortunately, but I see deer outside the
Oh,
windows.
okay. Oh, that's right. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh, so then, like that studio, his studio, is that only in Arizona, or does he have like does he have like a branch of that studio like in Austria, or you always have to come here to
I always come to the States. Yeah. He
Oh,
only has
okay.
a studio in Arizona, and he used to have it in Hawaii. But
Oh,
then
okay. That's
volcano
one
took
that's
over.
one place Yeah, that's one place that you should go to record, Hawaii. Then you don't have to go in the
Actually, I
cold.
was supposed to, and then everything happened, and yeah, I went to.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I was just going to ask you because I know I seen you post a lot about going to Flagstaff, Arizona in the high elevations to record. So that kind of made me think. I says, well, is it anywhere else? So he just has the two places, Flagstaff, and he
It's
used to
only
have it in.
like he used to have it in Hawaii, and then the lava of the volcano took over the
Oh,
whole land.
really?
Yeah,
Wow.
really bad. And
Wow.
so he decided to move to Arizona.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, that'll definitely put an end to things if you got like uh like about 50 meters of lava over your studio covering that'll definitely put a damper on that there.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so I know like on your Instagram post, I mean, I am just amazed about how high in the vocal register you can get. And it's like, can she? Okay, she's at this note. Can she get a little higher? Then you go up there to that. I says, no way. Because you're making your way up there like that. I says, no way she's ever going to get up to that last step. And man, I'm telling you, you just belt it out to, like they say, to beat the band. It's like I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. I mean,
Ken knows how to beat my butt. Let's say it like that.
I know. I mean, I like to sing, but I could never get up. See, I'm talking and I'm not even singing. I'm talking and I gotta wet my whistle here. But yeah, no, it's
Hard work.
yeah, 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 yeah. And it looks like they have a pretty large setup there, right? I mean, is that like the one and only recording studio room they have, or is there like others off of that, or
No, no, it's just this. Hmm.
okay. Well, I mean, that room is big enough because it's like you can belt out the notes as loud as you want, and it's going to bounce off from all the walls and the ceilings
Yeah,
and
it's perfect.
everything.
It was just built for recording vocals, especially.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
sound
Yeah.
is so amazing. You have to don't use anything and it sounds great in there.
Wow, wow, wow. Yeah, that sounds like it's like technically perfect, right? It's like they
Yeah.
they thought of all the sweet spots like in audio in order to
Yeah. I'm very
design.
spoiled with that studio. So when I record somewhere else, I'm like, doesn't sound the way I would love to make it sound.
You can say, I've recorded with the best of the best, and this place just doesn't stand up to it, right? You could say that, right? For
Yeah,
any
it's
other
always in my head. I'm like, how can I say it in a nice way?
Yeah, well, yeah, this is a general public show, so I don't know if you can express your feelings that vehemently, but if you do, I can always edit it out. So, if you got to say anything, I can always chop it out. Don't worry. I
Right.
I can chop it out to protect, like tender ears, so don't worry
But I'm
about
very lucky. I'm very fortunate to be able to record there
it.
with the
Okay,
best
yeah.
equipment, and Ken's past and knowledge is beyond. So he knows everything. He's so great at recording and mixing and mastering, and
It does look
he
like
knows
it.
what he's doing, and we all benefit from it.
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah. You all benefit from it, and then all of us benefit from it from,
Absolutely. It's a win-win for everybody.
yeah, win-win-win. Win-win, win-win-win situation. Yeah.
Wanna tell you a story about a woman I know. When it comes to loving, ooh, she steals the show. She ain't exactly pretty, she ain't exactly small. 42, 39, 56, you could say she's got it all. Never had a woman like you.
So in keeping with that topic with the vocal studio, in your Instagram earlier this year, I I read a pretty detailed Instagram account when you traveled from Austria to Flagstaff, Arizona. I think you know where I'm going with this, right? So let me just officially say this. I'm going to say in January, you posted on Instagram about your very challenging traveling, to put it mildly, very challenging traveling ordeal from Austria to Flagstaff. And as you termed it for your KTVA 6.0 recording, that lasted for 3 straight weeks. And so, uh, like I said, I've read your comments in your post about the very frustrating, to put it mildly, time that you had during your travels. So, in saying all of that, and for those of the viewers that aren't familiar to what we're talking about and haven't read all of your accounts and your comments in the post, um, for all of them out there in Zoom land or YouTube land, what were your experiences like? Even though I know that what you said, but tell them, what were your experiences like when traveling from Austria to Arizona for those sessions? And what was your experience like during those 3 weeks of recording sessions? Go.
Why you're doing this to me? That I have to think back of that. Well, it was very traumatizing. I think it was the worst travel I've ever had. And I remember I had to get up very early. I think it was around 2 in the morning to make myself ready to go to the airport. This time I traveled with lots of luggage, and yeah, everything was super fast when I arrived. The security check, everything was going well, and quickly I was on the plane and I was seated, and then I always put in my headphones, and then I'm in my own bubble. And I realized we started rolling, and then we stopped and like, what's going on? The lights turned back on. Everybody started walking. It's like, what? Why are people walking? We're already like on the runway. What's going on? What's the matter? And I didn't know anything about it because I had my headphones plugged in.
Right.
And then I just heard somebody say on speaker that we have a problem and there is a hole somewhere and that an engineer has to come to fix it.
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Are you kidding me? I mean, I was like, okay, I have a big delay, so like a layover, so I'm not in a hurry. It's fine. I will catch my connection flight. It's okay. But then, time went by and it got longer and longer, and I started talking already with my seat neighbors, and they were concerned too. They were going on vacation to Pretty Island, and they were like,
wow.
concerned. We have to change airport as well when we arrive in London because the first step was London.
Okay.
And yeah, in the end, we left, I think, 4 hours later than planned.
Wow.
So we were stuck on the packed plane for 4 hours and it was so hot in there. And yeah, when we were still in the air, I was talking already to the stewards if I'm still scheduled for my next flight. I want to know, like, do I have to hurry? Do I have to run like an idiot?
Right. Is everything else going to be on time, right? Since you're delayed for,
so many times that I had to run to catch my next flight, and I'm so tired of it. So I'm always in my comfy clothes now when I fly because I know I want to be comfy.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Go on a plane with slippers and scuffs, and you're,
I mean, 24 hours travel for most of the time, so I really don't care how I look. I just want to be.
None of us care how we look when we get on the plane. If we got an international flight, all we want to do is sleep, right? Just sleep and make up for the hours that we're losing.
So yeah, in London, like my steward told me already that it's not possible to catch my connection flight.
Oh no.
I had to go to the counter and they told me, yeah, I'm scheduled for the next flight, which was 3 hours later, and that I have to go to the other airline because they changed my airline. And then I had to stand in line, and there were, of course, so many people in front of me.
Right.
And when
Yeah.
it was my turn, they told me, yeah, your flight is tomorrow. I was like, what does it mean tomorrow? I thought it's like the next flight that you have. No, it's tomorrow. So we book you a hotel and you can stay here. It's like, great, you know.
Right.
She's like, this is, you get vouchers for the airport and stuff. Like, yeah, with 10 pounds, what can you buy at the airport? I mean, come on.
Right. A s-
I
a s-
haven't, I haven't eaten or drunk anything until then. So I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You can't even buy a bag of peanuts for that amount right at the airport,
yeah,
right?
nowadays, not anymore.
Right.
Just bowl of water in the best case.
When you go to an airport today, even if you want to buy a bag of peanuts or a stick of gum, you got to use your credit card. That's how, you can't go with paper money. You got to go, to to make sure you cover yourself monetary wise, with money, you got to bring your credit card. So even to buy a stick of gum.
Yeah. So I was not really amused about the news, and I had to go on a bus, and normally the bus should have arrived like every 30 minutes, but I
Right.
was lucky that I had to wait 1.5 hours, and it was super
Oh,
pretty cold outside. At least I had
oh,
my jacket with me. There were other
yeah,
people
yeah, yeah,
on
yeah.
vacation. They were just there like with short sleeves, and they were like freezing. It was so humid in London.
Oh,
Like,
right. Yeah, sure.
oh.
Change of climate. Yeah, the change of climate. Right.
And then
Yeah.
I could already sense a dialect, like German dialects was like, you're Austrian. So I think
Ah,
you're a guy from Vienna. So I found people from my country that I felt more comfortable with.
right. There you go.
We started talking, and then they told me, because they were sitting next to where the thing happened. There
Uh-huh.
was a car that loads in the bags in the plane, and the car bumped the plane. That's
Oh
why we,
no.
and our luggage was still in Vienna because they had a tracker in the luggage, and they said, we see it, it's still in Vienna. It didn't even come with us.
Oh my God.
And in
Oh my
London,
God.
they couldn't tell me where my luggage was. Everybody, because I was hanging out with these people then all day long,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and everybody got their tracking number, just not me. It's like, how am I supposed to find my bags? I mean,
Right,
there's my
right.
life. I brought 3 bags with me, or even 4. It's like, what am I supposed to do now? But at least I was smart now to bring a survival package with me, because I already lost a bag one time. So
There you go. Yeah.
learned my lesson.
Yeah. I always carry my survival with me. I always have like a carry-on, and then which I put up above there. And then I've got a backpack too that's, got other things that I can have access to, like quick, if I want something, all I have to do is reach under the seat, and pull it up and, unzip it. So yeah, no, that's an essential. Yeah, to have your emergency bag with you. Yeah.
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 So we got brought to a hotel. It said we got booked to Marriott. So it's like, nice, at least a nice hotel.
Right.
Once
Sure. You can't. Yeah. One of the better ones. Sure.
when we arrived, it's like, that's it. Like, you could see our faces like being very disappointed
Oh,
when we were at
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the hotel. It was really bad. It was old. And then I went to my room. I was super cold because I was freezing. I tried to turn on the heater. It's like, I don't know, maybe I'm too sleepy and I'm still too cold. So I asked my neighbor, which was a girl that was with me on the plane. I said, excuse me, but can you come to my room just to understand if it's me that it's just cold, or it's cold here in
Right.
general.
Right.
The heater doesn't work. She said, no, you're right. It's really cold. It's like, okay, I will just take a shower to get hot, and
Right. Right.
it's more time to get
Right.
warm
Right.
in here.
Now, was there any hot water? That's the question, to take a
It was,
shower.
but everything was literally broken in the
Oh,
bathroom.
wow.
Really. And
Wow.
then I got outside and was still so cold in my room. It's like, really? I can't I went to the receptionist like, I'm sorry, but I cannot deal with this. I need a room with the heater. I don't want to have an attitude, but
Right?
I'm cold and I don't want to be cold.
You're
And
not,
they,
you don't
shall
want
we
to,
send somebody to the room? It's like, no, 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 just give me a new room where the heater works. I
right?
don't want to wait any longer. I waited a long time.
You don't want to try to go to sleep with chattering teeth, right? When you're freezing like that.
No,
That's
no.
no good. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah,
I
they were
yeah,
friendly enough to give me another room. The
that's
heater
good.
was working, but I still haven't eaten by this time, and I think it was already 5 in the evening. So I was up already very
20 like
long.
24 hours, right? You were up 24 hours already, right?
Not yet, but I was starving in the meantime. And then we were able to go to the restaurant, and they said everything is included, drinks and food. And I
Oh,
sat down and was like, okay, I will just have
wow.
to.
I would have been there. If I heard that, I would have been there. You know, everything included, room, drinks, food. Yeah, I'm there.
But they
I'm
said
there.
like we arrived around noon, and they said we are able to eat from the evening, so from 6. It's like, but we're starving. What am I supposed to do? We were so far away from the center, so there was literally nothing where I was.
Wow.
It's like, okay, I can do it. So I went there to eat. I found my mates from Austria there.
Oh,
It's like, no, first I sat down in the restaurant and I was about to order pizza and something warm for my belly. And
right,
and
right, right.
then she took my order and she went away and she came back and said, no, I'm sorry, we have to place you somewhere else. You're wrong here.
You're
Like, that's weird.
you're wrong here.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I had to go to another place. She said, yeah, that's the buffet in the back. So we had to sit in the very back.
Oh,
There was a
wow.
buffet. And for people that don't know me, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat meat. I don't eat
Okay.
fish. I don't eat spicy. I cannot
Uh-huh.
eat spicy things.
And everything was like that, spicy, and they had meat.
It
Oh
was
my
just
gosh.
one vegetarian meal. It was super spicy. I tried it at least, I was willing to, but it
Right,
was
right.
spicy. I said, no, I cannot eat this. It's like, what else do I have to eat here? Rice and potatoes, like,
Oh no.
and salad. So I was like, okay,
Well,
I'll get. I'm
I,
hungry.
I, I guess you can get filled up on rice. I mean, if worse comes to worse, potatoes, yeah, uh, salad, but yeah, what are you going to do if that's all that they got in front of you, right?
Yeah. So I was willing to eat it, and I sat down. It's like, but can I do an order? Like, I want to have something to drink. Not even a person came to us. Like, we just had to do everything on our own.
Oh,
And
oh,
then,
since it was part of the buffet, it's like do it yourself, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So,
So
so
I was looking for something to drink, and I said, yeah, there it is. And I looked over, it's tap water with, I'm very spoiled, here I can drink tap water
sure.
and it's filtered and it doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah,
But when
yeah.
it comes to the States, it tastes like a swimming pool and it's really
Right.
disgusting.
Well, no, no, I totally agree with you. I mean, I drink bottled water myself, I mean, say like yeah, for anything like if you consume it, like if you want a glass of water to drink or, say like if I cook anything like rice or potatoes,
Mhm.
the only thing I use for tap water, like where I live, is like washing dishes, right? That's all I
Yeah.
do.
Mm.
Anything else, I consume it, I drink it, I cook with it. That's got to be bottled water. Yeah. So no, no, I totally agree with
A
you. I
bottle of
mean,
water, and I was like, but come on, I mean, I
right,
just
right.
want to eat and have something to drink. I'm really not asking for much, but at least, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
the food was really a
yeah.
no-go. I
So
didn't have really
so when you learned that they were giving you vouchers, like not only to stay at the hotel, but also like to eat there, was it assumed that those vouchers were for like a sit-down dinner instead of a buffet, right?
No, the vouchers were just for the bus and for stuff you could buy at the airport.
Okay,
And they
okay.
said at the hotel, foods and drinks are all included.
Oh, okay, 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 yeah, yeah.
So that was the deal. It was like, okay, then I won't eat anything. At least I bought one cupcake at the airport, and that was my food for that day. It's like, great. At least it made me happy, It was chocolate cupcake and it was very
Oh
delicious.
God, I'm a, like they say, you're preaching to the choir. I'm a lifelong chocoholic. I can't resist chocolate. I mean, candies, cookies, even the smell of chocolate, it's like, forget it. It's like I'm gone,
Yeah.
but man, I mean, thank goodness thank goodness you at least had a cupcake, I mean, it's not much, but it's enough to keep you going, right?
Yeah,
Just
but
enough to
you
keep.
can imagine my mood, being up with
I think I would have had the same mood too. Well,
and
yeah, I mean,
waiting, no food, no drink. And I'm
right,
not a person that is in a bad mood in general. I'm always happy, always laughing,
right,
but
right, right.
I was
Well,
like,
I mean, even the best of us are cranky if you don't have anything in your stomach, right? I mean, like they say that you can survive a long time without eating, but you can't survive a long time without like drinking water or something. But yeah, especially
yeah,
for all that extended travel that you're doing, I mean, you got to have, I mean, water's not going to get you there, right?
yeah.
It's just not going to get you there. Yeah.
So I was like really exhausted because I knew all the long travel still ahead of me. And I wasted already one day. So I was like, I just
Right.
want.
So altogether, like from Austria, well, you said was your first connection in
London.
England? That was your
Yeah.
first? Okay, okay. So um in your total travels, I mean just one way from Austria to Flagstaff, overall, how long did it take you to finally get to Flagstaff? I mean, it's like you just says that you were like going for 24 hours straight at that point, but it's like how long overall did it take you to get to Flagstaff?
I think in total it was 2 days
Oh, wow.
because I was 12 hours on my overseas flight. Then I had a layover again. Like they had to reschedule me on everything because my planned route was like,
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, your plans are totally busted at this point, right?
yeah. So
It's
I had
like,
3 steps and I didn't go on the last plane. I said, I'm sorry, but I will not wait for a flight 5 hours if
oh,
I'm
no, no, no.
if I'm on the plane for 50 minutes just to reach my destination.
Right.
So yeah, I agreed to go on a taxi, like on an Uber, and
Okay, yeah, yeah.
even worse than everything else.
Thank
Like,
God, thank goodness for Ubers, right? I mean,
well,
sometimes,
not in that case because it was the worst ever of this whole travel. Like it was the worst part, and I still didn't know it.
good thing you didn't know what was coming up ahead, right?
Yeah,
Otherwise you would have said, "Man, I'm done. I'm going back," right?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I Everything went well. The overseas flight was very calm, and I had great food. And
That's
when
good.
I got on in the car, I was like, I just want to sleep. Okay, I had terrible travel. I
Oh,
just want.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And the first thing I was when I tried to lay down on the back seat, this woman had a subwoofer in the trunk, and
She had a,
she had a subwoofer in the trunk,
oh, okay, okay. Oh,
and
wow, are
she
you kidding?
cranked it
Wow.
up. Yeah, she cranked it up, and music that drives me really crazy is like fusion jazz. And she was listening to this and was like, "I'm
Oh,
sorry, but can you turn it down?" So
what are
yeah,
the odds that she would be playing that music, right? Besides having that
she started
subwoofer.
with like disco music. I was like, "Excuse me, I told you I want to sleep." And besides this, she pulled the windows down. It's like, I'm sitting on the back seat. I'm cold. No, no, I have to stay awake. It's late. But I don't care. I'm tired. If
At
you're
the
talking,
at right at like they say at that point you're at the end of your rope, right? You just want to crash and get some Z's and yeah, no, totally,
I
yeah.
was, I really had to hold myself back because I was
Right,
like,
right,
"Eh,
right.
I'm almost there. Just don't lose it."
Right. It must have taken you everything that you had. Come on. You were probably saying to yourself, come on, Katie, hold on, right? Just
Yeah,
for
but
a
it's
few.
not easy at all. I can
No,
tell.
no, I imagine it wouldn't be. No, not after that harrowing experience
And
you
she
had.
didn't even help me with my luggage. Her car was not even big enough to put all my bags in there. It's like, I'm sorry, but these are my bags. She was just sitting in the car and hello. It was like 5 bags.
So before you paid the fare, you should have said, well, since I had to load some of the bags myself, is there a Uber discount, right? For doing part of the job or whatever. But yeah.
That was terrible. I mean, I did it already one time that I traveled the last route with car, and it was very nice. He really took care of me and gave me water and made me feel
Oh,
comfortable. And I think that's how it's supposed to be, and not the other way
right.
around.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're supposed to have, I mean, traveling in itself is frustrating, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to have some part along the way where you can just kind of relax and, like they
Yeah.
say, leave the driving to them, right? And just chill in
Yeah.
the back seat or whatever and just get there. So once you got the Flagstaff and you're in the studio and ready to record your sessions, did it take you quite a while to like recover from your travels plus the higher elevation? I mean, how long was it before you actually started recording when, your body finally went and you were ready to go, you were ready to rock?
Actually, I always force myself to stay awake to the time zone where I'm in that
Okay.
moment. So I don't go to sleep before it's dark. It's my rule, and it helps me to get used to the new time zone.
Right. Right.
So I just had one day off, and then I started singing. One day
Really?
off.
Wow. Okay.
So it
Okay.
was really tough
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
super hard songs. You will see. I still have great things coming up.
I know. Yeah.
It was the
I
hardest things that I've sung so far. So
okay. Okay.
it took a lot of me physically. I just needed a break one time when I
Right. 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 Right.
did stuff that was so hard for me. My voice was still there. It was just tired, but my voice was there. But physically, I was not strong enough to sing
Oh
them.
yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I need a break. Really.
So you had to wait for your body to catch up with your voice, right? Your body was still sleeping, but your voice was saying, "I want to
Yeah.
go now, now. What's the matter with you? Come on along with me, right?"
And the good thing is Ken is very night active, so he's
Oh,
getting
okay.
in the middle of the night working, and I didn't want to get used to the new time zone too much, so I woke up naturally every day around 3 to 5, more to 5 than towards the end.
Okay, okay,
I
yeah.
can start working earlier
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if I wait until noon, I'm already tired.
Right, right. It's like, yeah, noon might as well be like 11 o'clock at night, right? I mean, by the
Yeah,
time
and
that
at
rolls
night, of
around.
course, I always force myself to stay awake longer, but in the beginning, I'm dead already at 5. And
That's you're still on home time, right? You're still on home time.
yeah, so in the last week when I'm there, my body starts to turn around, but
Yeah.
then I have to go back already.
That reminds me, like whenever I have to travel, uh, like if I have to travel over to Europe, or like Spain or France or anything, it's like, like on how this thing you can keep track and like set like a home time or like your destination time. So I'll have those two clocks, on the face of my phone here. And so I do the same thing like you do. It's like, well, just because where I'm going is like close to my bedtime, it's like you were saying, you want to stay awake to kind of keep like your same body rhythm, or like even when I'm on the plane and like on the plane, if it's like an overseas flight, they dim the lights when it's nighttime, and it's like I don't really feel like I want to go to sleep. I'll close my eyes, but it's
Yeah,
like I don't want to go to sleep now because
I
if I
watched
wake
5
up,
movies on my way to the States.
what's that?
I watched 5 movies on my way to the States. So I don't wanna
I
sleep.
hope they were good movies, or were they
Actually,
were they movies that just kept you awake and they were no good at all?
no, actually, I liked all of the movies that I watched,
Okay.
but if you ask me now the title, I have no idea anymore.
Yeah, yeah. I just watched movies just to keep me awake there. I could, yeah, right.
I
Well,
always look
even
for
like,
movies
yeah.
that are not available another thing. So I was like, okay, I will watch these.
Right. So you were there for like a total of 3 weeks, and
Yeah.
then after that, hopefully the return trip to Austria was a little bit smoother.
It started not smooth at all.
Okay.
I woke up and I
Okay.
already
I know where we're yeah. I know where we're going with this. I can just assume, you know. Okay. Okay. When I came, it's like the hot water faucet didn't work, but when I left and I went back, now the cold faucet water doesn't work, right? Or something like that, or
Yeah.
something like. Well, let's just say it's safe to say that it was challenging as well, right, on the return trip.
Not as much, but
Okay.
I just had to rebook my route because the first flight was so much in delay that I lost all the other flights. So I was
Oh,
smart enough to reschedule from the very
oh, that's
beginning.
good. That's
So
good.
everything else was smooth in the end.
Yeah, right. Well, if nothing else, at least you were going back home, right?
Yeah.
You were going back home, and
And just please
yeah,
let me back
you
home
could
now.
be, you could be off the road for a while, going back home there. So, yeah. When I read all of that, I says, I just got to know more. I says, if there's one question that I have to ask during Katie's interview, I says, that's the question I've got to ask. I've got to know more.
I could complain, but I just had to say something about it because
No,
people
that's totally
treat it like
understandable.
this. I
Sure.
mean, at least if you make me lose a flight, then make me feel comfortable at least.
Right. And I mean, your comments, I mean, probably maybe there's some people that aren't familiar with it, like international travel, maybe doing it the first time. So at least that gives them an idea of what could happen, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it might not happen, but it's always a good idea to know what would happen if it did happen. I mean, in
Yeah.
each leg
It
of
was
their
never smooth at all. My
no.
international was never.
It's very rare. I can
Yeah.
remember the very first, it wasn't international, it was domestic. It was like from here to Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
It was almost scary. Nothing went wrong. I says, what's wrong with this? What's wrong? I've heard so many horror stories. I didn't feel comfortable. I says, okay, this flight's coming in on time. This layover is actually 1 hour. But then the next time, everything was I says that's the law of averages, right? I mean, I
But the fun fact was that I had the same customs officer like 3 years ago when I was there the last time. I was like, I know you. And said, yeah, I remember you too. It's like, that's crazy.
right. Or
Because he was talking to me in German. And when I replied to him the last time, he couldn't understand me. It's like, but you just asked me something in German and now you don't understand my German answer.
oh, really? That's interesting. That's
Yeah, it
interesting.
was funny.
Wow. Well, I mean, even like at the ticket counter, I mean, if you fly frequent enough, I mean, you get to know the people at the ticket counter too, right? Yeah, I mean, if you're in the same airport and you fly the same airline, uh,
Yeah.
or even the same flight attendants, like sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
occasionally, not all the time, but like occasionally. But yeah, so leaving all those unpleasant, to say the least, experiences there. Switching gears to the next question, which will be a lot more pleasant for you to talk about, I guarantee you. Talking about like your collaborations, in your performances. Um, let's see, in 2018, you toured with Marco Mendoza. In 2021, you performed with Bernard Biebel. Uh, am I pronouncing that right, Biebel?
Bible in
Or
German.
Bible? Okay, Bible. Yeah, I always like to get things right.
You know more than I know.
Say that. What was that?
You know more than I know. I don't remember all these dates anymore.
I do. I do. I didn't know. Well, thank you. I am worthy. I am worthy. Well, thank you. Yeah. Um, And where was I now? Oh, okay. And you also perform quite frequently with the love of your life, Alessandro Zucco, and just to name a few of the collaborations you've had. So, since you've collaborated, so many times, so many performances with other artists, do you think that you might have future plans to continue these collaborations, or do you think you might want to concentrate more on like entirely going solo in your career?
I definitely will continue to play shows with my guitarists, which are Bernhard and Alessandro. Um, it's for cover shows. We do acoustic shows, and it's just an acoustic duo, and it's so much fun.
Mhm.
You can be so free, and yeah, I love to do that. But I can also tell that there's something great happening in the background that I don't
Oh,
want to talk
sure.
about yet, but there's something cooking. That's all I'll
Yeah,
say.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean that's just like acting. I mean, whether it's like on the film or if it's on stage, like I always tell everybody else, I just got into film probably like within the last 3 years. Like ever since the advent of COVID, like when everything was shut down, didn't have any film experience. So it was a great way to get used to performing in this box, with keeping your
Mhm.
but anyway, whether it's in film or on stage, yeah, I totally agree. Like with collaborations, like you can feed so much off of the others, right? They
Yeah,
can actually like supply you sometimes with more energy than you think you have, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah. And
But
and I
something
mean,
great is coming up this year, and I cannot wait to talk about it. I'm really excited.
okay, okay. Well, we'll keep that on the QT, right? Like they say on the QT, and we'll wait to hear about all this exciting information in your YouTube posts, right? Or your Instagram post, right? Little
Yeah, you will
little
keep
dr-
posted on
you'll
my social medias
you'll
for
you'll
sure.
be dropping little hints here and there, right? Stay,
Yeah,
stay,
absolutely.
stay, stay tuned, stay updated, right? Don't leave your Instagram page, you'll miss something, right? I mean, something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, yeah.
That's why for now it's pretty quiet on my channel because I'm super busy behind.
Okay, okay. No, but I mean, I still see you posting a lot of those Instagram video posts, and I mean, uh you've got like so many different reels on your Instagram page, and I forget how many of you have, but it's like it always seems that you're coming up with new ones, and uh it might be some that you've maybe shown before, but it's like you've got so many of them that I lose track. It's like, oh, Katie's got another one out. Katie's got another one out, and no, I
I
mean,
try my best.
well, you do your best. I'll tell you that much. You do your best. Like everybody out there in YouTube and Zoom land or wherever you are. I was just telling Katie before we started. I said I just happened to be on Instagram one time, and I happened to see her one reel that got what 1.7 million views at that time.
I
One
don't
of the
know what
real, I
happened
mean,
to me, but it was about to get viral when you found me. Yeah.
it's like, and that's the first that's the first one that I seen. I never seen any of the reels before, but that one is the one that came up on my feed, and
Yes.
it's like, yeah, we got to talk to her. We got to interview her. I mean,
It was
it's
crazy what was going on when that went.
wow, it's like, I mean, it's like all the other ones, it's like what? It's like, well, that one 1.7 million, the other ones you got like hundreds of thousands. It's like, man, I says this thing is just like blowing up sky high there, and yeah,
Almost 8
that's
million by now.
wow. Wow. And I think it's even going to keep going. I mean,
I
sky's the
think
limit. The sky's
even
the
greater stuff is coming up.
okay. Okay. I know that's a guarantee. I mean, if it's any indication of what you've been doing up to now, I mean, I don't have any doubt that it's going to keep going higher and higher.
Hey, hey, mama said the way you move gonna
you were talking about collaborations with Alessandro, who you call LA, right? LA for short, LA.
Ale.
Ale, Ale. And I see that there's a lot of posts that you have, and both of you perform a lot together, right? Collaborate a lot together, like on stage. Because I always see different ad posters, like on either Facebook and Instagram, and it's like you're always playing in a different place, right?
Yeah, it's fun,
Yeah,
if you can combine your love life with your career, but it's also,
there you
you know,
go.
good and bad sides of it.
That's right.
Sometimes we're not really a couple anymore, we're just working. It's like,
Well,
okay,
like they.
see you next week.
I'll see you at the next performance. See you later. Bye. Talk to the hand, right? Talk to the hand, something like
But
that.
I'm not kidding, it's real like this.
No, that's nice that you have that personal work relationship like that. I mean, that's great. And
Not always working, but it's working.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And like we were talking about, like when you collaboration, you've got other people around you when you're collaborating. It's like the audiences must really give you like super energy, right? Like
and
the
if they don't give
audience.
it to me, I'll get it out of them.
I know you will. I know. I mean, if you can get it out of people on an Instagram video post, I can just imagine what you are like live. I mean, I'll tell you what, it's like everybody hang on to your hat, man. Man, we're going for a ride here. So, but
You
that,
know, the acoustic shows we always start slow and I sing nice stuff. That's actually not my niche, but then later on when we start to get heavier and rock, like people are like, but you were singing like that? It's like, yeah. you know, all elegant in a dress and then like
right, right.
how it's
It,
but it's
it-
I
yeah.
love to shock people.
Is it? Isn't it fun when you surprise people like that? You do something
Very
they
proud.
don't
I love to
expect,
surprise.
right?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, man, she blew me away. It's like, wow, yeah. But well, that's the same thing with acting. Acting on stage. I mean, it's like no two performances are ever alike because, well, it must be with music too, right? Say like if you perform like one song at one like concert and you perform, say, like the same concert in your set, like in another concert, uh, don't you get like different feedback, right? Like on different nights?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because that happens in acting too. Because like I've done like both dramas and comedies, and like dramas, the real heavy stuff. You sometimes you can hear a pin drop in the audience when they're really into it, and you can probably hear some people go, oh, sighing if there's a sad part.
Exactly.
Like,
You're
yeah,
allowed
no,
to talk
what's
to me.
that?
I tell the people, then you're allowed to talk. You make me feel uncomfortable.
Don't make me feel uncomfortable up here. I'm here to please you people. Don't you understand that? Or something like that. But anyway, in comedy, you're always going like in comedy, they always say laughs happen in three. Did you ever hear that?
No.
There's like if you say three funny lines, it's always sort of like a comedic rule. It's like on the third line, that's where you get them. On the third
Okay.
line, it's like da 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 they'll go like that. So it's but it's weird, strange when you're performing on stage and you go the three da 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 da. Some nights, oh my God, it's like everybody breaks out laughing, practically rolling on the floor. Other nights you get a different audience, da 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 da,
It's super quiet.
nothing. And it's like, what's going on here? Aren't we good enough tonight? And you might deliver it the same way, but it just
Different.
depends on, who you got out there, you know, their outlooks, how they see things. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that Well, like we were saying, that's just life. That's just the way it goes, you know? So,
I always try to adapt my set to the mood of the people,
oh
makes
yeah. So,
whole place
so when you
they
do,
don't appreciate.
yeah. So, like you were saying, when you're trying to figure out the mood of the people, is there any point, say, along in your performance where maybe you might decide you might be singing, say, like the same songs on two different nights, but maybe for one audience, do you switch up the songs and kind of put them in a different order depending on?
I also pick different songs, it depends on the event, on the people that are there, and if it's more like to be supposed in the background, although I'm never in the background when I perform. That's what I can tell you, and that's what I tell the people that are
Thank
performing.
goodness you're not in the
I'm
background.
not a
Please.
background musician. I always get my attention.
Yes, yeah. Please stay in the front. Please stay in the
I
front.
always provide a show, trust me. So
Yes, yeah.
that's what people appreciate in the end. In the beginning, they are shy, but in the end, I always make people dance.
You pull them out of your shell, out of their shell, right?
Yeah. I
Right.
know my tricks, how to get them.
Oh. The- Now the professional secret comes out. Katie's got performance tricks where she pulls it out of there. She pulls the entertainment out of the audience. So now we know. We don't know everything, Katie, but now we know enough now. But like they say, I digress. So I'm getting off track here. But one thing I did want to ask you, along with the other things, of course. But one thing that I wanted to ask you is I seen that in a May 2023 post that both you and your boyfriend Ale posted. You have, which I found a pleasant surprise. You have a joint Instagram page. So I did not know that. So I clicked on that link in your Instagram page, and it took me to your joint Instagram page, and there was so much more information there, and I mean, really awesome posts along with your own posts. So um, he took you on a surprise horseback riding trip,
Yeah.
and I thought that was pretty cool because you got a video along with it, and it shows you, well, it doesn't show you, but it shows you panning like with your phone camera, like the riders and the horses and everything. So when I seen that, what I want to know is that was that your first time horseback riding, or is that something that you've always liked to do, horseback riding?
I have so much respect of horses. I love animals. I'm such an animal lover, but I have so much respect of them. I don't want to be close to them actually.
No,
So
that's not a good idea, especially horses. That's no. You don't want to be, shall we say, within range, right?
yeah.
In the back, right? In the back.
So it was our first summer that we spent together, and he said, just dress something, sporty, and we will go somewhere. I said, but give me just a little hint. Like, can I wear like high heels or flat shoes? Like, no, dress comfortable. Like, all right. So we're both romantics, he's an Italian. What shall I tell you? So we
I know
arrived.
what you're talking about. I'm half, so I know what you're talking about. Half
Really?
half Italian, Calabrese.
Okay. See. So yeah, he surprised me with that, and I was happy and terrified at the same time. But he talked to the owner of that place, and he said that I'm very scared because it was really my first ride, and he gave me a horse that was the calmest of those. But
That's
actually,
good.
when I was on the horse, it was not listening and not reacting on what I was doing. So I had the worst horse in it.
It was such a chill horse that it decided not to do anything, right?
But it was still a great experience
Uh-huh,
because
uh-huh. So so
walking
it,
next to the ocean and the sunset, and
oh
then
wow.
the palm trees, like it was
Yeah.
really.
Because I know in that video it showed you like going along a trail, and I think there was one part of the video, wasn't it, where you were getting closer to the shore, right? one part of it? Yeah,
We were
yeah,
also,
yeah,
walking in the river. It was
yeah, 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 yeah. That was pretty. I mean, that was a pretty big group that you went with, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah,
seemed
he did
seemed
a
like,
great job.
yeah, 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 yeah. You could say to him, Ale, you done good, right? You done good, right?
Always, he's a good man.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. So like a lot of those people that were along with you in LA on that horseback riding trip, uh did some of them have horseback riding experience or
I didn't understand the word at this time because I did not speak Italian. Now, after
oh,
years, I'm able to understand and talk a little, but
oh,
at
okay,
this
okay.
time, I was completely clueless what people around me were talking. So I was like,
Oh,
"You
okay,
tell me
yeah.
what to do," because I didn't understand the instructions. Because
Oh,
especially in the part of Sicily where he's from, they don't talk English or they don't even teach English in schools.
oh, really? Wow. I didn't know that. Wow. Wow. And I think in Sicily, I've never been to Sicily, but uh they sort of speak like I don't know if you could say like another like a different dialect. It's not like
Absolutely.
yeah, it's like I don't know, Sicilian.
Mhm.
I don't even know what you know. I mean, it's Italian, but like specific to Sicily, something like that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm
they
not
speak
totally from.
dialect. Like I do speak dialect too in Austrian, and we have different kind of dialects from different regions,
Right, right,
also
right.
different from village to village, and also there. And it's funny. I always say he sounds like an Indian, dugu dugu dugu, when he talks. Dialect. But I really love it, and his dad teaches me lots of dialect things.
Oh his dad teaches you too.
Yeah, to
Oh,
talk
okay.
dialect.
The dialect, yeah, yeah. So you were saying that everybody on the horseback riding or the instructions, like the first time you went, you didn't understand Italian. So
Nope,
could that be why maybe the horse didn't do what you wanted to because you had to speak to the horse in Italian or no?
probably.
Probably. That just dawned on me. I was saying probably because I was going to ask you like the physical part of it, like when you're on a horse, you sort of have to like kick your heels inward if you want them to go, right? Like go ahead.
Something like this and pull, with the, I don't know if you call it
Yeah,
leash,
yeah.
right and to the left. It's like I was overwhelmed. It's like,
Right, 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 right. So like even if you did that with your feet with the horse, it didn't move. Was that it?
I was always doing the opposite that I want.
I know, I know horses have a mind of their own and they're stubborn, but that one takes the cake right there. I never heard of a horse that didn't at least take some directions that just decided, well, I don't care where you tell me to go. I'm going in this direction. That's where the hay is. I'm going to go eat the hay. I'm going to go to the feed barn there. I'm getting hungry or something. But yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. So, I mean, all together, on the stage, off the stage, in the studio, outside the studio, uh, you're a very interesting person to speak with.
You really
Really,
enjoyed the
uh,
talk with you.
yeah. I mean, I really enjoyed having you on the show today, and I know everybody else out there will enjoy it. Well, everybody out there, you're enjoying it now because it's already uploaded to YouTube. But here, it's not uploaded to YouTube yet. That's why I got to say that. But yeah, everybody, comment below here, give a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Katie's YouTube channel and leave any comments
Spread the
that you
word.
want.
And spread the word.
And spread the word is right. That's right. Spread the word. That's spread the word about Katie's Instagram channels or Facebook channels or her YouTube channels and anything else that she does with Ken Tamplin studios and everything. Just keep spreading the word. Keep watching those videos that are going like viral so that they reach like 10 million plus views on each one of her reels.
That would be
So
nice, yeah.
she will appreciate it, won't you, Katie, if they do that for you, right?
Absolutely.
That's right. I'll appreciate it too. That's your homework, everybody out there. Listen to her constantly to make her views go up. So yeah. So I mean, Katie, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you today and share the time with you and the time that we've tried to know everything, Katie. There's a lot more. There's a lot more, but we've just touched on just some of the points of everything, Katie. And I know that there's a lot more to it. So yeah, thank you again for being on the show. And yeah, it's been an
Thanks for
absolute
having me.
pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, everyone, my name is Edward S. Redcar, and I'm the host of Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat, if you don't already know already. And today we've had the absolute pleasure of speaking with Katie Cher, Austrian rock singer and a musician, newly learned horseback rider, shall we say, and guitar player, occasional drum player, and everything else like that. So until the next time we all get together, have a good day, a week, a month, a good life, and yeah, we'll see you soon. So so long.
Rock and roll.
And there's a place that I've dreamed of, where I can free my mind. I hear the sounds of the season and lose all sense of time. I'm moving far away.